Alrighty, welcome back guys. Continuing with this little mini series concerning the Eachine brushed F3 all-in-one OSD flight controller, whatever the heck you want to call it. It's now time to set everything up in Betaflight. If you're just now coming in and you have not seen the previous videos where I did a build using that flight controller as well as how to bind it, the review, look in the description below and I'll have links to those videos. So the first thing we want to do is upgrade the firmware because in the last two days we've had 2 or 3 new versions of firmware. Mine actually came with 3.0.1. I don't know what version yours will come with. It uses the Omnibus firmware, so you would want to choose Omnibus, and then the newest version of firmware at the time of me recording this, it's this one. And I'm going to turn all this off because it already has Betaflight firmware on it. We don't need all those checked off. And let's see if it flashes. It should automatically enter the bootloader mode, and you know it's in the bootloader by like when you see DFU, because this board uses a virtual COM port. Okay, programming successful, and we can now reconnect. If yours did not automatically enter the bootloader mode, then go to CLI and type in DFU and then press enter, and that's how you get in the bootloader mode. This only works on flight controllers with virtual COM ports, so don't think this will work on all of your flight controllers. So let's go back in. The first thing I'm going to do is lay my multirotor flat on a level surface and click calibrate accelerometer. Once that's done, let's go to ports. Well, actually, we don't have to do anything in ports. The on-screen display is built in, so we don't have to turn on the MSP for that. And the receiver is built in as well, so we don't have to turn that on either. And because it uses PPM, we don't need to turn on serial RX. So actually, we can skip this. You want to change this from one-shot 125 to brushed. Motor PWM speed separated from PID speed. And then I will enter 32,000. You can choose motor stop. This is completely up to you. I like to turn it on for brushed builds because the props are so close to the battery connector. I hate it when the props hit my fingers as soon as I plug the battery in. Like I said, you can leave it turned off. Then for minimum throttle, I will set this to 1,000. Make sure that this is set to PPM. You may have to adjust your board and sensor alignment. If your USB cable is facing towards the rear of your multirotor, then you don't have to adjust it. I'll leave VBAT on because it does work, and you don't have to wire in any extra VBAT pins like you do on some other flight controllers. It's, like I said, it's automatic. I will turn off current sensor. Because this is a F3 board that uses SPI, the fastest loop time, or I guess I should just say loops, we can run is 8 kHz and 4 kHz. If you only plan on flying in acro mode, you can turn accelerometer off. If you do want angle and horizon, then leave it turned on. And we can't use black box because there's no data, data chip, but we will leave OSD turned on. If you want your name to show up in your on-screen display, then go ahead and type in whatever you want here, and then save and reboot. Okay, let's go back in. The reason I'm seeing more tabs than you probably are is because I have expert mode enabled. That's going to give you those extra tabs like failsafe. If you want, you can set up your failsafe. I just have mine set to drop, which is the default, so I'm not going to change anything here. PID tuning, I would recommend flying it first. I have not tuned these PIDs yet, so I couldn't tell you what's best, and it wouldn't matter either way because we're all using different frames. I would also recommend leaving your rates where they are until you've actually flown it, and then you can adjust from there. And then same for throttle mid and throttle expo. Now receiver, I'm not actually going to do this right now, but if you have watched my video on how to bind it and it is bound, then you can turn your transmitter on, move your joysticks around, and roll pitch, yaw, and throttle should all be moving on your screen. If they're not moving, then you didn't properly bind the receiver. I do get a little bit of jitter in this, so it fluctuates. Like, you'll see the numbers fluctuating, and take the minimum and maximum that they're fluctuating and then add 2 more to that. So mine fluctuates about 1 or 2 places, so I'm going to add or set my RC deadband to 3, as well as the yaw deadband. Deadband. I can't talk tonight. Then let's save. Now go to modes. I'm going to set up ARM, which like I said, I don't have my transmitter on, but I know where my switches go, so that whenever I do ARM, that yellow bar is over here. I'll also do angle on a 3-position switch, as well as horizon, and I'll leave that there. And then my 3rd position will be over here, which means I'll have acro mode. So I'm going to get all 3 modes on one 3-way switch. And that's it. Now if we go to, we don't have to do anything on these 3 tabs. We can go to OSD. I'm going to turn the logo off. My camera is a NTSC camera, so I will choose NTSC, and that will readjust the screen size. Then I'm going to turn off all the things that I don't want, and that's it. That's all I want. At least on these micro-sized builds, all I care about is voltage. And then you know, I'd like to see what kind of flight time I am getting with these batteries, so I can compare batteries. And that's pretty much it. So I will save again. Oh, if you do want your name to show up, then you would pick craft name. And remember, if you have your goggles turned on, whenever you move these, it's actually moving in real time. So look in your whatever type of goggles or screen you're using, and you'll see this moving. You may have to adjust it because, for example, if I were to put this right in the corner, it's going to cut off part of the name. You have to bring it in at least 1 space. So go ahead and adjust it. Then save once you're done. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing I would do is, if my frame were not a true X frame, then I would do a custom motor mix in the CLI. If you're not sure how to do that, then watch my video on custom motor mixing, and you know, I'll explain it there. That's going to do it for this one, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll have some flight footage coming up soon, like I keep promising. Thing is, my Fat Shark goggles actually became damaged yesterday, so I'm trying to repair those in between videos. If not, I might just buy a new pair. Who knows? But thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.